Well, Hannah, looking at that, do you do all your own stunts? Did you do all your own stunts when you were doing the Avengers? No, I didn't. I couldn't. Some of them were too extraordinary. Well, Nana. Hello, darling. Yeah, you shouldn't call me here, but I had to have a witty bra. What the devil's happened? I couldn't if you hadn't by now. British actor Patrick McNees died aged 93. He's best known for his starring role in the 1960s TV series The Avengers, broadcast around the world. A single controversial scene from The Avengers shocked audiences and censors alike, sealing the show's fate. But what was so scandalous that it forced an iconic series off the air? The answer remains one of television's most infamous mysteries. So, join us as we explore the infamous scene that took The Avengers off the air. In the early 1960s, British television was undergoing a creative revolution. The British Broadcasting Corporation and independent television pushed boundaries with innovative programming, and the demand for gripping, stylish entertainment was higher than ever. In this landscape, The Avengers emerged. Is it our maladjusted smegs there? No. A bothersome burner? No. It's Sir Frederick Hadley, Old Freddy Hathaway, a show that would redefine the spy genre and set new standards for television storytelling. The idea for The Avengers came from Canadian-born producer Sidney Newman, who had already gained recognition for his work on independent television's armchair theater. Newman was known for championing bold, unconventional ideas, and in 1960, he conceived a new kind of crime drama that blended espionage, mystery, and sophistication. Unlike the traditional, hard-boiled detective stories of the time, his vision included a suave, intelligent hero and a fresh, modern approach to storytelling. He wanted a series that combined spy thriller suspense with British wit's elegance. Not just yet, was his appeal. I don't believe in this invasion any more than you. Or Venusians. Oh, come now, Mrs. Peel. The show premiered on independent television on January the 7th, 1961, with an entirely different structure than the one that later made it famous. The original lead character was Dr. David Keel, played by Ian Hendry, a medical doctor seeking justice for the murder of his fiancée. The early episodes followed a straightforward crime procedural format, with Keel teaming up with an enigmatic British agent named John Steed, played by Patrick McNee. Steed, at the time, was a secondary character, depicted as a trench-coated intelligence operative with a mysterious past. The first season relied heavily on Keel's role, with Steed acting as a supporting figure in his investigations. Wilton was found here badly concussed. He may be out for weeks. There's nothing wrong. Not so much as a piece of bread take. The chemistry between the two characters, however, quickly became a defining element of the show. Steed's witty charm and understated authority starkly contrasted Keel's earnest and determined persona. Despite its strong start, the first season faced production challenges, including the departure of Ian Hendry after just one season due to a contractual dispute. This unexpected shift forced the show's creators to rethink its direction, ultimately paving the way for John Steed to take center stage. Now the mark on him, Ernest Cosgrove War Ministry. Importance? Up and coming. With Keel gone, Steed's character underwent a dramatic transformation. His image shifted from that of a conventional intelligence officer to a stylish, eccentric, and unflappable gentleman spy. He traded his trench coat for tailored suits, bowler hats, and an umbrella, an ensemble that would become one of the most iconic looks in television history. This reinvention of Steed was a turning point for the series, allowing it to move away from the traditional crime drama format and embrace a more adventurous, playful, and surreal tone. I had hoped you wouldn't get this far. But you have, and now you must stay. To fill the void left by Hendry's departure, the Avengers introduced new partners for Steed, beginning with Kathy Gale, played by Honor Blackman. Gale was unlike any female character on television at the time. Strong, independent, highly skilled in combat, and intellectually equal to her male counterpart. Have you ever modeled before, Kathy? Yes, but not for some time, I must admit. Her inclusion marked one of the first instances of a truly empowered female lead in British television, setting the stage for even more dynamic partnerships in later seasons. By the mid-1960s, The Avengers had fully transformed into the show that audiences remember today. It blended espionage, sci-fi elements, and stylish action with a uniquely British sense of humor. The reinvention of Steed, combined with the introduction of groundbreaking female leads, allowed the Avengers to carve out its identity and become a cultural phenomenon. With its unique premise established, the Avengers quickly evolved beyond its origins, transforming into a cultural phenomenon that redefined the spy genre. Let's explore. Make contact 12:30. Do you think he'll turn up? I hope so. It could lead us to the escape route, the first link in the chain. In its early years, The Avengers was a modestly successful crime drama. But by the mid-1960s, it had transformed into one of the most stylish and influential television series of its time. The shift from a standard procedural to an innovative genre-defying spy show was gradual yet deliberate, marked by bold, creative choices that set it apart from other programs of the era. There were 30 men lost, and the roof caved in, and they were never able to get out. The pit was sealed off, and the mine closed down. As the series evolved, it became synonymous with British cool, gaining a devoted international audience and solidifying its place in television history. One of the most significant changes that fueled the Avengers' rise to prominence was the introduction of Kathy Gale in 1962. Played by Honor Blackman, Gale was a sharp-witted anthropologist with extensive combat skills, an expert in judo, and a fiercely independent presence. She was unlike any female character previously seen on British television, intelligent, fearless, and perfectly capable of holding her own in physical confrontations. More than just a sidekick, Gale was an equal to John Steed, challenging him intellectually and physically. Then, funny Bethard, who's a contact man for a job I once did in Paris, he usually worked in France. Her wardrobe, featuring black leather catsuits, became an iconic look, further enhancing her image as a trailblazing action heroine. The addition of Gale transformed the Avengers into something far more compelling than a traditional detective series. The chemistry between Patrick Macnee's John Steed and Honor Blackman's Kathy Gale introduced a new dynamic, one of flirtation, wit, and mutual respect. Their banter, combined with the stylish action sequences, set the tone for what would become the Avengers' signature appeal. Audiences responded enthusiastically, and the show's popularity soared. Well, pretty loud anyway. It wasn't just any ogres to one person in particular, very particular Montague Stapflo. However, it was with the arrival of Diana Rigg as Emma Peel in 1965 that The Avengers reached its peak. I'm living. Yes, I also heard something a few moments ago, sort of. Crackling sound. You should have seen the fireworks in there, I'll tell you about it later. Peel was conceived as an even more refined, sophisticated, and multidimensional character than her predecessor. Educated, aristocratic, and effortlessly charming, she possessed a razor-sharp intellect and excelled in hand-to-hand combat. But he's dead, we saw him cue. Well, someone has inherited his know-how. Her name itself, derived from the phrase appeal, man appeal, hinted at her dual ability to captivate male and female viewers alike. Ah, Miss Mackay. I was just telling this to Steed about Friends of Ghosts, Maddie Mackay, John Steed. Hard to. Hello. Unlike other female television characters of the time, she was never relegated to the role of damsel in distress. Instead, she was often the one rescuing Steed, engaging in thrilling action sequences with a sense of poise and playfulness. The chemistry between Diana Rigg and Patrick Macnee was electric, with Venusians as an alibi, an original one with myth, it's about all I will admit. Their relationship was built on mutual admiration, subtle romantic tension, and an abundance of witty repartee. With Peel's introduction, the series fully embraced surrealism, futuristic themes, and a heightened sense of style. Jusino the ex-dictator, absconding with half the treasury. Another man on the run. Episodes featured high-tech gadgets, secret underground organizations, and eccentric villains, creating an almost comic book-like atmosphere that appealed to a wide audience. Come here. To obey me immediately. The production values improved significantly, and the show transitioned to color in 1967, further enhancing its visual appeal. Emma Peel's departure in 1968 marked another transition, with Alinda Thorson stepping in as Tara King. While King lacked the sheer presence of Peel, and they were never able to get out, the pit was sealed off and the mine closed down. Her inclusion signified an attempt to modernize the show for a new era. By this time, The Avengers had become an international sensation, airing in over 90 countries. The mix of espionage, humor, and futuristic storytelling captivated audiences worldwide, inspiring countless spy shows, including The Prisoner and The Saint. Though the series eventually declined, its influence on popular culture, particularly its portrayal of strong female leads, remains undeniable, especially if you're fair, female, and quite beautiful. However, as the show reached its peak, maintaining its signature blend of charm, action, and intrigue became increasingly difficult. leading to creative conflicts and rising tensions behind the scenes. Let's find out. As the Avengers evolved from a conventional crime drama into a surreal, high-energy spy thriller, tensions behind the scenes grew just as intense as the action on screen. Uh-oh, shh, not a word. The show's innovative mix of espionage, satire, and science fiction made it one of the most ambitious television productions of its time. But sustaining that distinct blend came with immense challenges. Writers clashed with producers, actors grew frustrated with grueling schedules, and creative differences threatened to derail the show's momentum. With I don't usually ball for strangers, it was a corny situation calling for corny measures. At the heart of these conflicts were both artistic disagreements and interpersonal tensions, some of which became legendary in British television history. One of the earliest sources of friction arose during the transition from Honor Blackman's Kathy Gale to Diana Rigg's Emma Peel in 1965. The introduction of Peel coincided with an increased focus on cinematic-style action sequences, elaborate fight choreography, and complex narratives. You know this man? Ish, everybody knows him. Jobbingona in the Village. Writers and directors struggled to balance the show's witty, playful tone with the darker, more suspenseful espionage elements. Some wanted to push the series into more outlandish, futuristic territory, while others preferred the grounded, intellectual sparring that had defined the Steed-Gale dynamic. As